Hello and welcome back. Let's do one final example. So Casey runs 13 miles per hour for 42 seconds. So how many yards did he run? So in this we're told that we're going to be running 13 miles per hour, and it tells us how long we're going to be running for. So let's write this down. So it's going to be 13 miles per hour. So again, per means divide, and we're going to divide by hours here. So if I want to find out how many miles I run, I'm going to need to multiply by how many hours I've run. I can't write today. And then that means that I get to cancel out my hours, and I'll be left with how many miles I run. But the thing is, I don't know how many hours I've run. I only know how many seconds I run. So let's convert hours to seconds. So convert hours to seconds. In fact, converting hours to seconds is even hard. So let's convert hours to minutes. And then convert minutes to seconds, because that'll be a little bit easier. So when I'm doing this, so 1 hour is going to be 60 minutes, and then 1 minute is going to be 60 seconds. So if I were to convert everything here, what'll happen? Hours and hours will cancel. Minutes and minutes will cancel. The number that I'll come up with is going to be miles over seconds. And this is going to be a fraction, and I'm not going to reduce this fraction. So I have 13 times 1 on top. That's just 13. I'm going to leave that alone. I've got 1 times 60 times 60. So if we come up to a calculator and do that, we'll see that we have 36,000 seconds. So instead of writing this as 13 miles an hour, I'm going to write this as 13 miles per 3,600 seconds. So this is how fast Casey ran in this example. 13 miles per 3,600 seconds. So now what I can do is we can go 13 miles per 3,600 seconds, and I can multiply this by 42 seconds, and seconds will cancel. And then what I'm left with, and again, I'm not going to simplify this fraction, and there are reasons for this, but it's a little bit simpler if I don't. So I'm going to think about this as a fraction. Just anything divided by 1 is itself. So this is going to be 13 times 42. After my seconds cancel, I'll just be left with miles. On the bottom of the fraction, I'll have 3,600 seconds. But the seconds cancel times 1. So this is how far Casey would run, how far Casey would run in this example. But this is in miles, which is not exactly what we want. So let's do some more. So again, we've got 13 times 42 divided by miles, 13 times 42 miles divided by 3,600. This is how many miles Casey runs in this example, but I don't want miles, I want yards. So how do I convert miles to yards? Well, I know that I can convert miles to feet really easily, and then I can convert feet to yards. So there are 5,280 feet in 1 mile, but there are 3 feet in 1 yard. So miles cancel, feet cancel, and I'm left with yards. So what is this fraction? On top, I've got 13 times 42 times 5,280 times 1, but anything times 1 is itself. On the bottom, I've got 3,600 times 1 times 3. So this is what I'll type into the calculator. The reason that I'm doing all of this without simplifying first is because if you simplify in the middle, if you simplify and round in the middle of an example, rounding causes errors. You can only round at the end of a problem to get the right answer. So let's type all of this into our calculator. So 13 times 42 times 5,280 divided by 3,600 times 3. So we've got ourselves a big fraction. It'll be 13 times 40. Oh, I think I did that in the wrong order. So we've got, oops, there, 42 times 13 times 5,280 divided by 3,600 times 3. And then as I look at this, I will round this to the nearest whole numbers, so to the nearest yard, and so this will be 266. But I look at the 9 and I round up, so this is going to be 267. So this is how many yards that I ran. If I were to run 13 miles an hour for 42 seconds. And that concludes this section on working with units. These questions may take a little bit longer. If you have questions, please email me, come to class, contact me. I'm here to help you guys. You just have to let me know that you need help.